back there?
Sure.
That right behind my guitar. There's a little step thing. Welcome everyone. So we were having some techie difficulties. There's a little button. I'm Paul Greene. Did you got it? Step on it. Yes. And we have lights. Now we're a real movie studio. Right. Thanks, babe. Ooh, I love your red dress.
Thank you.
It's really pretty. Welcome. Welcome to my YouTube channel, everybody. I'm Paul Greene. This is Kate Austin.
Hello.
Freedom Alchemist. And so, many of you watching here probably know us, but for some of you who are watching this later on the replay, nice to meet ya. And we are talking today about why it's essential to do a cleanse.
A detox.
Yes, well, as you're detoxing, you're cleansing out your body. So at least once a year, doing a detox, sometimes a fast. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Diane. Hi, everybody. At least once a year to totally detox your body for 10 days is ideal, but there's many of them out there. We're going to share one that we're currently doing. I'm on day 6 of the blood sugar detox. And this is Dr. Mark Hyman's book, and it's been really, really profound, the journey that I've been on for this 6 days. So educational, such a beautiful love of cooking whole vegetables and whole fruits. And so if you came here, you're probably interested in detoxing, and we're also taking a small group through a very specific cleanse and detox coming up shortly. In a couple of weeks, and we'll be going through step by step this Dr. Mark Hyman's book, among a bunch of other things which we'll get into just a little bit better. Charlene Lee ordered the book. You're going to get it tomorrow. That's awesome.
Now, if we talk about detoxes and why it's essential to do them every year, we want to have a look at where we're going as a society. And when everyone starts grabbing for things, life has begotten a lot faster pace, and everyone's just grabbing on the go, and they're not being cognizant of what they're eating. And then it's easier to just grab a packaged meal at home and chuck it in the oven or whatever, rather than actually cook a whole foods meal. Right. Now, unfortunately, all of that starts adding up, and also all of the carcinogenics that gets put in food. We now have Roundup that's in our water tables, that's in our food, so we have all of these carcinogenics that we're consuming that weren't the case back in the day. Like our parents or our parents' parents, they didn't have to deal with these things, so it wasn't as essential to do a yearly detox, because and also the environmental factors, just the pollution in the air, all of those sorts of things. So we want to make sure that we're helping our body really move these toxins through, because year after year after year, it just builds. Yeah. And then you get some massive health condition, and then you go to the doctor and they'll put you on a pill, but you're not getting rid of the toxins that is creating all of the inflammation and disease in your body. So that's why we want everyone to know, a one major cleanse a year is so essential for you to maintain being healthy, being vital, and being really, really, in touch with everything and feeling good in yourself.
Yes, and so much, we have such a sick country, especially the United States. So horrific diabetes and horrific autism rates and obesity rates, and cancer is through the roof. We're sick. And one very, very crucial thing to do is to find a way to get some of these toxins out. And there are a few different ways, and some other benefits are really giving you rebooting your interest and your relationship to food. So we're so disconnected eating packaged foods, and Tina's done the Whole30 several times. Whole30 is an incredible program because you're only eating whole foods. There's no grains, sugar, dairy, any packaged or processed foods or sugars. And what's so beautiful about it is you get reintroduced to food and with your hands. And we just made a beautiful salad and
so delicious.
Soup, and it just was so Marianne, so you know how important it is to detox as well. It's so important to get these toxins out of your body, and eating these fresh, healthy vegetables and fruits allow your body to stop putting all this crap in your body, so your body can start to eliminate properly. And there's all kinds of really beautiful ways to get you eliminating better as well. So obviously cleanses reestablish healthy eating habits. So you may have during the pandemic gone on and allowed yourself to eat crap constantly because you're like, well, I'm at home, I'm sick. You can create all this environment, all these excuses to eat poorly. Well, it's time to stop that. It's time to do a cleanse and really give your immune system a chance to fight whatever variant of this COVID thing that decides to come out next. And because if you're totally toxic, your immune system is also shut down. So it also promotes weight release, and we call it weight release because if you lose weight, you'll probably go looking for it. So doing a really good detox will promote tons of weight release, and I've dropped quite a bit even in 6 days. My body is just loved it. I'm doing Epsom salt baths at night. My body's just taking the toxins out, and heavy metals and toxins do store in your fat cells. So as you release some of your fat, the toxins escape through your water as well.
Now there's so many different cleanses and detoxes, so it's like which one is right for you, and no one can know because there's no one size fits all for anyone. You have to test and try. And Paula and I mean, I did my first detox when I think I was around 21, 22. And it was something, it was all herbal supplements that I bought at a drugstore. We call them chemists in Australia.
A drugstore.
So I bought it there and it was 10 days, but it was all whole foods, similar. And then I took all of these tablets, like 9 tablets a day of all these vitamins, which was like an intestinal broom that basically was cleaning out my system. Now I was a young person and I didn't eat terribly, but I gotta say, and I'm sorry if this is too much information, but the second week when I was on this, I could not believe what was coming out of my body. It was like, where is this coming from? All I'm eating is salads and all of this stuff. Now, most of us are walking around with an extra 5 to 10 to 20 pounds of feces dried up in our bodies. Now, once it all dries up, your whole system isn't working as well. You're constipated. Your organs can't move.
Well,
they
the colon
get
wall
jammed.
can't absorb nutrients anymore.
And then
it's
it's leaking that toxic that's meant to be excreted from your body. It's leaking that into your body. So it's pretty gross. And most people, if you've never done a detox, that's what's going on. So we do detoxes to really cleanse out our colon, to cleanse out all of our organs, to give them a break from all of the things we're throwing at it, and then to reestablish better eating patterns. Because once you take out all the nasties, you no longer crave them as much, which is great. So it's about getting on to a great program and then coming off it well, because coming off it is just as important. So many people do these crazy diuretic type things, which are not good for you. And they like lose a bunch of weight, and it's a lot of water weight. And then, they're barely eating, they're starving. And there's nothing wrong with doing, not much food. Paul and I will tell you about a water detox we did in a minute. But if you're using diuretics and chemicals rather than natural things that rebuild your body, and then you go, okay, I've lost 15 pounds, fantastic. And then you just start eating again like normal, you're just going to yo-yo your body, put all that weight back on, and it's actually worse for you than had you not done it at all. So there's a lot to take in when you're thinking about what the right detox. Now, for example, when we did the water fast, we did a 10-day water fast, just water, nothing else for 10 days. And the reason we did
it's on YouTube here if you want to check out the journey. It was wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
And it's amazing. Like, you feel extraordinary. After a certain amount of days, you've got limitless energy and you're feeling so good and you feel connected and intuitive in a way that you're just not when you're shoving food down, because we use food to numb emotions and feelings. It's part of what people get addicted to, numbing out pain. But so the reason we did that one was because of autophagy. Is like basically it starts eating anything that your body doesn't need, like cancerous cells, like broken cells, anything your body doesn't
Yes.
need, it starts eating. It's like eat thyself, basically, which is extraordinary. But it's not for everyone. Not everyone can do that.
Well,
if
if
you're on
somebody is
medications,
very sick, they like somebody had a stage 3 or 4 cancer, they could go to a fasting center and through doctors get off meds, and for 30 days they would just give you water and you would probably cure yourself. It's
Yeah.
what animals do
yeah.
when they're sick. They just go and they don't eat.
Mm-hmm.
But here in America, we're like, eat something.
Yeah,
You're sick.
like children that are sick, we're shoving food into their face.
The body sometimes just needs, the organs need to rest, the digestion needs to rest, and you need to reboot. So that 10-day water fast is like, it's intense. This one we're doing that I'm on day 6 of is a really beautiful cleanse and a detox from Dr. Mark Hyman, where you do get to eat, and it's very specific, and I've been cooking a lot and really loving the smoothies in the morning that we get to make, and there's some supplements that come with it.
It's
as well.
delicious and totally sustainable for your life. It's not something that you have to, come back to normal from. You could sustain it forever, which is what's so important and why we're really loving this cleanse.
Yeah, it's beautiful. So some other benefits are you're promoting the release of heavy metals, which we mentioned. No more fuzzy brain, Paula. My brain's sharp. Today's been great, and yesterday. So it promotes a detoxification of heavy metals, reconnects you to whole foods, stabilizes your pancreas, and balances your blood spikes, your blood sugars. We got a little heart rate, blood pressure monitor, and a glucose to read your sugar. Your blood sugar, and so you're measuring things all the time as well. If you want, you don't have to do that much as you go through it. It improves the look of your skin and your hair and your just overall appearance.
All shiny.
Improves improves digestion. Save money because you're not eating out. How many saved so much money during the pandemic because they were just at home making every single meal? Well, that you do that in this too. Eating out's just not really an option during the 10-day. The 10-day cleanse. Detox. Concentration and focus goes up. You get a massive energy boost. Every spiritual practice, every religion has a fast built into it. Now this is different. You are fasting from you're fasting from sugar and dairy and wheat and glucose and packaged foods. So you're fasting from 5 of the major SAD food groups that most Americans eat. The standard American diet is so carbohydrate and sugar rich. And so most religions have it as a spiritual practice to reconnect you to spirit. And it is, you are much more vulnerable and receptive when you're cleansing and when you're fasting, for sure. How many, did you have anything else to add to that, babe?
I just saw Ruth posted a link, and I'm not sure that's the right link anymore. So I just wanted to send.
Oh, you want to?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you do that, and I'll keep yapping.
But
how many here have tried a cleanse before? Ruth is for the detox. Yes, what we're actually talking about is Kate and I are doing a Forever Young Masterclass starting in a couple weeks. And we wanted to share it here with you and take some questions if anybody has any questions. And also for you watching later on YouTube on the replay, just wanted to say hi. And below this in the show notes, there'll be a link to the course that you can check out and get all the information that you want. But Kate and I will be doing a journey with a small group, 3 pods of 10 each in each pod. So we'll get to know each other.
And we're sold out of one. We're halfway through the second one. So there's not a whole lot of space yet left. But we really, the benefits of why do it in a group is because when you are detoxing is you experience a lot. Even Paul, he's a very healthy person. We eat really well. We have a good nutritious diet and lots of supplements, all of that. He went through it for the first 4 days and it can bring up a lot. And if you're not as healthy or you are pre-diabetic or diabetic, which is this program is extraordinary for, there'll be a lot that will come up. And so having coaches and having a community to help you move through these darker spaces is the key, because otherwise you'll start feeling yucky and you'll be like, I'm not I'm not doing this. I don't want to do this. It's too hard. It's too hard, which is why so many people quit detoxes. But you have to be able to move through things. You have to move through the hard parts. And it's always easier if you have a support network to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is this the right link? This is the one
Yeah.
that Ruth just sent back.
Yeah.
So I think the one you sent me, Ruth, you can post.
I just sent her, I just emailed her.
Yeah, did she get it? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yes, so most of you on here have probably tried some. Oh wait, is this live streaming here too? Oh no, look at that. Okay, we'll get rid of that. We had some technical difficulties as we started this out, but you're gonna have the support doing it with a close group of accountable people that'll keep you accountable, so you show up for yourself. How many have started a cleanse and then jumped off halfway through, or thought about starting it and then realized that they like their cookies too much? Or day 3, you look in your cupboard and you see a bag of chips and you're like, oh, I'm feeling emotional. And we drowned out our feelings and our emotions with food. And that's one thing that I've really gotten present to, is I've had emotional things come up more than usual. And it's because I'm not just eating whenever I want. It's like, oh, I got to actually face what's going on, which it's been really beautiful, and it's been really good to look at that inside and to understand how much we use food to numb out. But as you do it, doing it in a group will also provide you with some safety. So if you're afraid of some things, you can reach out. The accountability, step by step, we're going to help hold your hand through this every step of the way. I'm actually shooting a video every single day of my journey through it, and what's my tips and tricks and hacks and what's been helping.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be able to share that with you as well. It's been really beautiful. I've been loving tracking it, tracking measurements and the amount of weight that's been released from a lot of water, but also toxins, and then measuring like how your sleep quality was. And then there's all these questions at the end of every day when you're having your bath. It's like, what emotions came up today? What is your relationship to food? And it's such a discovery. Dr. Mark Hyman, his book, really carved out, I feel like, a beautiful way to connect you to food and your why.
Yeah.
And the first half of the book has got all this information on how we got here, and like how incredibly addictive sugar is. And so if you're addicted to sugar, this is definitely for you. And if anybody
100%.
watching this, you've tried this to do it on your own and you want to do it with a group, come and join us.
And if you're pre-diabetic, don't even think about it. You must, because that's a slippery slope. And you don't want to spend your life having to take insulin because you didn't manage something that you could manage. Like this, it's a doctor-approved detox, and it is specifically to get people from pre-diabetic or diabetic to no longer diabetic. Now, so many of us that are not pre-diabetic or that are just normal, we're still probably consuming way more sugars than we realize. It's in our milk, it's in our bread, it's in so many foods, and it's disguised with all these weird names that you wouldn't even know that it's packed full of sugar. And it might say organic or healthy or all these things, and it's packed full of stuff we don't know. Now, there's so many people on here saying they've never done a detox. And, that to me is just it's a travesty. And it's because it's just not, we're especially in America here, it's such a culture of like, take a pill and end your pain and things will be great. But what we don't realize is like every pain med we take starts rotting our gut, and our gut is where our immune system is. Now, you wonder why America really fell during COVID, is because everyone's gut is rotten because we're addicted to pain meds and you're addicted to all of these foods that are totally toxifying your gut, and therefore your whole immune system is shot. So it's like, why are we not talking about all the things that get you back to an equilibrium, that cleanse you, that heal you, rather than let's find more pills to solve these problems? So really, like, if you haven't done a cleanse and you can't do our cleanse, you must look into which one you can do and what you can start doing every year to start giving your body that little break. And even intermittent fasting, like that is a great thing.
Yeah.
It's free, you know.
Yeah.
You just have to stop eating when the sun goes down and start again when the sun comes up, and not eat in between.
Yes, there's different types of fasting. It's the circadian rhythm fast. There's the 8-16 where you fast for 16 hours and you eat for 8. There's 20 and 4. There's all kinds of them, and the circadian rhythm one is a great place for a lot of people to start. A great place for people to start because it starts to connect them to how emotional we snack at night. And like at least for me too, like this one's not a nighttime snacker, but like after dinner and like if I'm in the studio working, I'll get the second hungries, and it's just like then I go to bed with digestion, so I have to really make sure that I'm fasting. And when I'm fasting and intermittent fasting, I feel majorly. You do, Cecile, that's great. Cecile does the 8-16 fast, the intermittent fast.
You're saying when you're fasting,
you feel clear and you feel focused, and you feel like you're really connected to even that short fast that you do at night. But what we're doing is more of a 10-day, like complete. You detox your kitchen especially at the beginning. You go through and you get rid of all the things that are going to trap you. Cookies, chips, wheat,
all the things
dairy.
you grab for when you're not feeling good.
And so, but then there's a really great little cookbook at the back of the book. There's a lot of places for you in the book. And then, so that the cleanse is a part of our Forever Young. Do you want to tell them what else? Like there's a lot. So the cleanse is just one part of it.
Aspect.
You'll be eating mostly Whole30 the entire time that you're with us for the 6 weeks. And then, so the cleanse is one part. Here's the rest.
So we onboard you by, getting you into the rhythms of regular ways that you can maintain continuous detoxing for your life. So things that you can incorporate into your whole like daily routine for life. So we onboard you that way. A week and a half in, we start the detox. And then you do the 10 days, and then we really ease you off for the next 2.5 weeks because it's a 6-week journey altogether. So you're with us for 6 weeks. It's very intimate. It's like it's semi-private coaching. Everybody gets to speak. Everybody gets to share. So there's that aspect of it. So that's all the food side, and then there's recipes. There's all of that. So
I'm gonna do a live cooking thing at some point in there where I share some of my treats.
And his way of cooking is so fun and so fast and so
I destroyed
explosive.
The kitchen. Oh my gosh! But I made 3 meals in like 45 minutes.
He's great. It'll be wonderful. A wonderful cooking lesson for you.
Hilarious.
So there's all of that, and so and with our, when you get the book, it's fabulous, and we highly recommend it. But it's kind of all over the place. So we do it all very step by step and really like mapped out for you. Now, the other part of it is the emotional part. People think, I just want to release weight. But no one really connects that we have all this mental, emotional stuff connected to why, if you are someone that cannot lose weight and you've done diets and you've done all the things and you either lose a little bit but yo-yo back and all of that, it's because you've got some emotional trauma that hasn't been healed. And that's where I come in. So I'm here to basically...
We haven't really introduced ourselves. Wait. Kate is a Tony Robbins trained strategic intervention coach, and she's also in her master's for NLP. And I have had lifetime in fitness. I used to do covers of Men's Health, Men's Journal, Men's Fitness, and then my dad got sick from ALS, and I went on about a 7-year deep dive into longevity and prevention, and became passionate about detoxing. We had my dad doing coffee enemas and ozone and every trick in the book and wheatgrass to get my dad alkaline and to be detoxing. Now ALS, it's a really tough one to beat, but it really did make me passionate about that. And Kate and I have been leading a group, several hundred women, probably over 1,000 women over the last 3 years.
Yeah. And men.
There's a few men in there.
A lot more women than men.
And there's several people watching on live stream here that have taken our courses that guide people through body, mind, and connection. Yeah. And I share every hack, every shortcut, every teacher that and I've had some great teachers in the world of medicine, like functional medicine, not pills, but like healing yourself through food and through movement and great supplements. And then Kate does the mind strategy, and she's a really brilliant strategist. Kate's a private coach as well, and coaches some amazing human beings through some amazingly hard stuff. And Kate can beautiful mind your life a little bit. She'll be like, well, why do you have that there? And that should just go there. And then it like opens up. And that's one of your...
Yeah, I know the kinds of questions to ask that will have you open up your life in a new way. And you get a private one-on-one neuro NLP session with me as part of the program. And that's valued at $300. And we will start nutting out, because this... What NLP does is it shines lights on a subconscious thought that might be running your life that you have no idea is running your life.
It's a blind spot.
And that's why you can't get beyond a certain thing, or why you can't lose the weight. So you have that extra backup of clearing out the subconscious to have you really be able to thrive. So that's another part of it. Right. And then another part of it is we give you a way, it's a formula in which to create your life strategy. And we coach you and guide you on that. That's what we do coaching on, as well as the cleanse.
That's right.
So basically you have a structure to fulfill on your goals and your dreams, which is so cool. And it makes it so simple, step by step. You're like, oh, I want to have this huge dream out here, but how do I get there? It's so scary. Well, it's not scary if you just take one tiny little step at a time. And it's like, that's all it is. And it's being measurable, achievable, and really, really like making it juicy and fun and exciting, and having you being pulled forward to your destiny.
Yes. Many of you have given up on your dreams of like, what are you creating with the rest of your life? Some of you may be towards the end of your life or in the middle, and have just accepted that that's it for you. Like whatever you got's good enough, but like you may have forgotten to dream big. And in order to reach those dreams, you sort of need a plan and a strategy. And Kate has this we've both been trained in this way of creating a game out of your life where you stand at the end as a done deal and you work backwards. And Kate's going to share that technology with you, so you will be able to very clearly create the map of building your dream life. And that, so the detox is a part of it. And then there's all this life strategy. And why don't we just alternate? You read that and I'll read the next one. Okay. So these are some of the benefits of joining us on our 6-week, and they're on Sundays, by the way, our Zoom calls. There'll be live Zoom calls once on Sunday for each pod. So you're going to remember how to dream big again.
Yes. And then you're going to learn easy strategies to fulfill your dreams one baby step at a time.
Yes, and you'll feel youthful and young and energetic and beautiful.
And you're going to get connected to your why, which is the biggest thing that will drive us forward for our life. And so it's so essential to do that.
Yes, and you'll take full control of your health again, rather than give all your power away to your doctors. You will take control.
Yes. Yep. And you're going to renew your relationship to food.
And discover
in a really powerful way.
Yeah. And you discover how delicious, like real nourishing food can be. I know we just did this in the kitchen, but we had like shaved raw corn and beets and cabbage and 3 different types of lettuce and tomatoes, and then tahini, like a sesame thing folded in with lemon and garlic, and it was just so full of beans. Then you can use food as your medicine.
Yes, and so you can
pills.
Yeah, and our bodies,
Thanks, Kimberly.
We were made so extraordinarily, like human beings. If you cut yourself, and then you watch yourself heal like magic, So like we were built extraordinarily. We don't need to mess with it. And I understand if you've messed with it a lot by other things, You have to get back to a certain point to get to equilibrium.
Yeah.
So, but food is medicine, and it is the original medicine. So yes, food is your medicine.
Beautiful.
And then you want to get off toxic cycle of over medicating.
Yes.
So that's a big thing of our program, and that's what we're going to help you do. We'll help you. I like the questions that you need to ask your doctors, you know, ways in which to move forward, how to get a great natural doctor, all those sorts of things.
Yes, we can answer that question at the end, Charlotte. If you just hold your questions for, we're about to wrap up this part and we'll answer a few questions.
Yeah.
But Charlotte, I have an answer for your teen. So be supported by coaches and an amazing community every step of the way, so you're not going to do it alone. And
You're going to have your hand held.
Many of you have tried to do it alone, and we're not meant to. Our society began to fall apart when we stopped living in tribes. That's one of Joseph Campbell said that, and so you have a tribe and a community to help, and you get to help people as well. Again.
And when you go through things like this with people, you end up getting really solid, beautiful friends for life. So it's really cool as well. And then you'll learn how to truly love yourself again, which is so important.
Yeah, self-love.
We're going to do all sorts of exercises on, you know, ways in which to really nurture yourself, not just from food, but through your whole being.
Right, right. And also, this is learn what stops you and gets in your way of your success. So we all have these sabotages where we have a thermostat on how good we're willing to have it, and I love it's the upper limit problem, and it's from Gay Hendricks' book The Big Leap. That phrase is. But how many of you have gotten to a certain point in a relationship and you blew it up, or your body, and you're feeling good, and then you just go on a bender for 10 days and you're right back to where you were, or your job, and you just blow it. You have an upper limit problem, and so that's a part of the NLP as well, and discovering what stops you and why you keep sabotaging yourself. What is it in your subconscious programming that keeps you stop allowing to only be such a certain amount of happiness and free, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to help you break your addiction to sugar.
Yes.
Which is like, for some people feels impossible. And
it's not.
You know, like, and sugar is more addictive than crack cocaine. Now, I'm sure none of us are
Have you tried?
I haven't tried, but I
say.
hear about it all the time. But, you know, you think about how, you know, if you get off sugar, the minute you start eating it again, you want more and more and more of it. Same with carbohydrates, things like that. So we're going to get you onto foods that feel so yummy in your body that you're not even going to want to go near those other ones. We're going to get you alkaline so that you're really, you know, cancer can't live in an alkaline body. So if you have an alkaline body, guess what you don't get? So that's what we're really there to, like, you know, if you look at this, like, oh, instead of getting a yearly medical where they just get some blood work and then put me on pills, this is like a medical. It's like clearing out your system and really investing in your health, because if you don't have your health, ain't got no life.
That's right. That's right. We'll spend all kinds of money at Costco and at Walmart for a bunch of crap that's you don't need, that's destroying the planet. But very few people will spend money on their health or get a natural functional medicine doctor. But they're like, well, my insurance covers part of it, so they're just going to go see a regular doctor and get pills. But it's not worth it. It's not worth. They're just going to keep medicating you, and then you'll be in a loop of medication. Many people who take our courses get off their meds because they start asking questions. And all you got to do, and I ask you to do this, go Google all the side effects of your meds, and you're probably, if you see it, in a pharmaceutical loop, and you might be having ones that are actually working against one another. So it's so important to take charge of your health. And doing a 10-day detox like this will turn the lights on for you. Yeah.
And it'll take away the brain fog. You know, when you're on a bunch of medications, you don't know how bad you're feeling until, like, you get off, you know. But you might feel, like, lethargic. You might feel, like, brain foggy. You might just feel yucky in your body. You don't feel motivated.
Yeah.
You just feel maybe queasy. You know, there's all these things because of all the side effects that are, like, ruining your life. They're taking your life from you. So we want to give you the tools to take your life back.
That's right. And so here's what's included in your 6-week masterclass. So some of you who have taken our courses before, this would be just like a deep dive with some private coaching. And Robbie, you chill. So you don't want to step all over that. Some semi-private coaching and a deep dive and some hand holding into what you've learned, plus some new tools that we'll be doing with the one-on-one with Kate and a cooking thing with me. But you get 6 90-minute weekly live Zoom coaching sessions with us, and we have valued at $2,700. And then you want to do that one?
Your personalized coaching and feedback on your game of life.
And we explained what a game of life was. It's a the strategy for fulfillment, really.
Yeah.
So you're present to your miracles as they happen, right?
And then you're going to get that template so you can use it for the rest of your life. Like, you're going to be given a strategy that you can use forever, which is invaluable.
Forever?
Ever.
10-day detox guided. Oh, that's valued at $750.
Yeah.
And the 10-day detox guided by Paul, valued at $800.
And then the whole 30 meal plan structure.
Yeah, which you could do on your own. So you can just go to their website, but we'd love you to join us for that. And it's a really great place to get connected to food. Goal strategy plan for the 6 weeks for a bigger goal that you need to achieve, and your hand will be held. That's valued at $1,000. Then that's you jumped ahead. And then the private NLP with Kate to help remove and identify sabotages in your subconscious. We have that valued at $300. Live cooking class with me valued at $300. So altogether, thriving community, powerful accountability groups, your own little Facebook group where there will be 10 people in each pod. That's over $5,665 worth of value, and we're offering it for $13.99. And so if you go to the website, I don't know if they should,
freedom-alchemist.com. And I know Ruth's been posting the link just to straight to the advanced program as well.
And it'll be in the show notes too. But so freedom dash, is that what that is? Is that a dash?
Dash
Alchemist is ALCHEMIST.
Yeah.
Alchemist. It's a great book too, by the way. Good for you, Jen Miller.
Yeah.
Should be, and then you can one-time payment of $13.99, or you could break it up into payments for, is it? Is that what it says? It's at the bottom. You did such a beautiful job with this page, by the way.
$483 a month.
For 3 months. So, and that's for a limited time. Yeah. So
questions. I know there's been so many questions coming through. We might have missed them. So please, if your question hasn't been answered yet, please pop it up because we're ready to answer. One of the things someone was saying is, will there be recipes included? Absolutely. Someone was asking like what age you need to be. There is no age limit. We have people from 80, all the way down. So there's no age limit. It's never too late to start. It's best to just.
I think I was trying to pin the video and I took off IA on the link.
Maybe Ruth can pin it for you.
I don't know if she can. Maybe you can, Ruth. That'd be great. I think I turned off live comments somehow too.
Oh.
I don't know how I do that. Live chat. There we go. So is Mark Hyman's cookbook for a 10-day detox? Yeah, it's great, Kimberly. I don't have the cookbook, but in the back of the 10-day detox book.
There is. But yeah, it would be great because the recipe's in the back of it.
And I tweak it, like I add stuff, but you could follow it to the letter. We'll be doing the whole 30 around the detox, Amy Jones.
Before it and after it. Because
there
is a coming off that makes things really important.
You had Heather Johnson had a phone call. Kate, we should actually put the number of people who have questions to book a Calendly with you.
So there is. You can either do the contact us form on our website. There is a Calendly link on the form. I don't know if I've set up the new Calendly dates. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But you can, if you're really thinking about doing this and you're like, I'm almost there, but I want to ask a couple of questions, there's a link in the bottom of the website where you can do a contact form, and we'll set up a 30-minute talk. It'll most likely be with me. So if you're wanting to talk to Paul, I'm sorry, that might not happen. He might jump in, but it's mostly about that. And it's, only if you're really, hey, this is interesting, but I need to ask a couple of questions first. By the way, we are starting on the 19th.
Uh-huh.
The 19th of September.
That's the day before I start my new Christmas movie. So, and that's on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. So, and then we're most likely going to have a Sunday morning group and a Sunday evening group at present. So that's what that looks like, and we'll give you timings as you come into it.
Yes.
Any other?
There was a question from Charlotte about her teenager. How do you help a teenager lose weight? Well, everyone's so different. It's almost impossible to answer that because they could be literally dealing with the gut health. I would always start with the gut. Always healing the gut. I don't have any Ion here, but there's a product I use called Ion, and I'm actually an affiliate with them that helps seal the gut lining. But it's like, if they lose the weight, they're going to go find it again. So you mean, unless that pins it there, that wouldn't be convenient. Then it's right in our face. So maybe it'll go smaller.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it might be there later too, which wouldn't be great. Let me remove the pin. It's not going to work.
Really?
Yeah. Because on the replay, it'll be right in the middle.
Oh.
Thank you, Ruth. But it's not. Could you remove the pin? Actually, Ruth, it's in the middle of the screen.
It doesn't just show up in the chat?
No, it hangs out there later on the
Okay.
replay. So as for everyone's so different, Charlotte, it's really hard to say. But there's the basics. Get rid of all processed food and all the triggers that would cause him or her to stress eat. And then move that body every single day and start changing the environment that has whoever it is, teenager or adult, in the loop that has them eating to numb out the feelings. And there's a lot going on in the world for people to be feeling with all the fear in the news and the media and COVID and blah, 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 vaccines and blah, blah, blah.
Turn off the news. That's a big
Turn off the news. That'll help you release a lot of weight. I don't know why I can't get rid of that message. It's bothering me. It's right in my... There we go. Yay. Okay, you might not have seen that, but it was right in my face.
I can't see the comments now. Oh, there they are. Okay.
Yes, of course, Diane. Rebounding will be the best.
Totally, Diane. Yes, rebounding, because we're moving lymphatic. So as we're detoxing, we want to find ways in which to move the toxins out, which is something that obviously Mark talks about walking, but he's not going to be able to help the way we can in terms of really moving all of those toxins out. And it can come in a various amount of ways. You might get headaches. Your skin might break out. There's all sorts of, you might get lethargic. There's a lot of different symptoms as to what can happen on a detox, and everyone's different. So it's like, having that support and being able to go like, this is natural, or I'm having a healing crisis, or we call it a herx, which sometimes an old injury might pop up, or an old feeling, or like, so you might get sick before you get better.
Interesting. I remember my day 3, I was like, why is my lower back like hurting? And I was feeling it on day 3. Day 3 was
day 3 is a tough one.
Day 4 was heaven, and day 5 and 6 have just been super, super great. Still the odd emotion comes up, but much more balanced.
She just said that Ion's not available in Canada. Is that the case?
I think it is, yeah. But if you're with us, I can, we can, I think, yeah, no, it definitely is. They have it in Toronto. I actually found, when I was doing research, I found it. Ion is a terrahydrate that heals your gut. And I'm hoping to actually have Zach Bush on as my podcast, The Grass is Greener, because he's so amazing. And I just love what he's like a prophet. And he literally says we have 60 harvests left in our soil will be totally without minerals. And that means that your grandkids and great-grandkids will not have a food chain. So he's got a solution, which is regenerative farming, which we're really into and excited to play around with, and to actually, we're looking at regenerative farming for ourselves. But Dr. Zach Bush, if you don't know him, please check him out. He's got, they asked what my favorite supplement, he has a thing called Ion, which fixes your gut. Because if your gut is leaky, you're going to have autoimmune diseases, and you're going to have you're going to be sensitive to all kinds of foods, and you're going to be gaining weight because your gut's not going to be working.
And you're going to be susceptible to any virus that's going around. because your gut is where, if your gut is your second brain and it's where your entire immune system is.
That's
We
right.
cannot stress that enough. And if you're someone that just pops pain medications because you're feeling like you've got a headache or things like that, you are not doing yourself any service. Now, I talk about this a lot too, is using pain to move through things, using pain as power. Now, pain is put there for us to pay attention. And if we keep numbing out the pain, then bigger and bigger problems happen. And that's why I know some of you started numbing out the pain, and then you had to take a bigger medication and a bigger thing, and then this happened, and then this surgery had to happen, and this happened, and you're on a spiral, right? So it's like, how do we get back to that equilibrium? So this is the beginning of really starting to get off of that train that's going down to more surgeries, more pills, more this to try and feel normal, because no amount of pills or surgery is going to make you feel normal. But getting back to how nature intended us to be will.
Yes.
And it's not, it's not cut and dry for everyone. It's a big journey for some people, but you got to be willing to do it, because you'll have the quality of life that you really want if you do it.
Yes. So I think that's about it. If you want more information, if you can't figure out the link, you can go to my website, paulgreene.com, and there'll be a pop-up right there, right as you land on it. It's a little easier to remember or spell for some people, but it's in the list. We're going to put the link in the show notes under this for you watching on the replay if you want to join us for the masterclass and reboot your entire life and feel forever young. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. And you can on a cellular level change your biological age. And that is the coolest thing. So it's not about how old you are. It's like what you're doing that can make you older or younger. And stress, anxiety, all of these things are going to age you. But you get your body back into an equilibrium and you start moving it. You can start you see people, right? All those people that were really big, and then they lost a ton of weight. They not only lost weight, but they suddenly look younger and more vibrant, and they've had a facelift or something, and that's because, they're feeding their body the right thing and they're moving their body. So the lymphatic system is working. So everything starts lifting up and it looks like they've had a facelift. Now that is possible for anyone. Good food, good water, good exercise. It's possible. So, you can have it. You can have it all, and it doesn't have to be crazy to do it. You just have to get connected to your why, have a good support system and accountability group. You can achieve anything.
Yes, wonderful. Well, thank you for being here. And if you have any questions, you can reach out through here, YouTube. There's a way to message also through our Facebook, Freedom Alchemist, and we have a YouTube channel, Freedom Alchemist as well, and paulgreene.com. And I can answer all the questions there too. So we really hope that we get to see some of you with us on this journey.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, you can also schedule a live chat with Kate to see if it's right for you or what solutions, because she's the solutions babe, might work.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thanks so much for stopping by. We love you. Okay. Bye.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.